אוקיי, זהו. You see, נכון? You see the screen, my file. Yes, yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. All right. I looked at two translations. And in the JPS translation, the chapter 26 starts with verse 19 from chapter 25. And it says, when the plague was over, the Lord said to Moses and to Eleazar, son of Aaron the priest. Okay. In the Hertz, it starts with, where is it? I'm on the wrong page.
Number 2, שאו את ראש, take the sum of all congregation, this.
In the where are you? I lost it, 26. In the Hertz, it starts with that the Lord spoke unto Moses and unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saying. But in the Hebrew, it starts with Vayomer Adonai el Moshe ve'el Eleazar ben Aharon HaKohen lemor.
Without ויהי אחרי המגפה? Without ויהי, and it came to pass after the plague?
No, because Vayihi
Very interesting.
Acharei HaMagifah in the Hertz, it's at the end of chapter 25, where it should be. So, and I was talking about this with Tova before, and she said this is an indication, and it's not the only place in the Torah that does this, where it ends in the middle of a sentence, and there is obviously something left out.
Well.
So it looks like there's something, but so what came to, and is what came to pass God telling Moses to do a census, or is what came to pass the retaliation against the Midian?
Pass after the
Okay.
Because
What I can tell you,
right, then in chapter 25, God is telling Moses to retaliate against the Midianites. And then it says, and it came to pass after the plague was over.
Okay.
So it's as it came to pass. Is that part of, after the plague was over? I mean, after the plague was over.
Yeah, I understand.
Retaliate against the Midianites, or is it, and it came to pass that Moses said, do another census? I mean, God said to Moses, do another census.
Okay.
So that's my question.
What I know about these kind of things is that sometimes the division of the chapters is not always the same in all the Mahadurot, Shalom Shira. Editions, כן, תודה. In all the editions, and we can, and there are maybe not many, but quite a few places in the Bible, in all the Bible, that you find this, that in some edition, the last verse of one chapter is not is the first verse of another chapter in another edition. Okay. Now I didn't encounter this situation of half a verse, as you say. ויהי אחרי המגפה, is it connected to the previous material, or? But according to what I have here, and we can compare with the others, ויהי אחרי המגפה, it means a new story. I mean, it does connect to the story that we have in chapter 26, in my view, and I can see also here in Tanakh Koren. Just a minute, I will check, but this is another edition. And you can compare in your books also. Wow, amazing. In Tanakh Koren, I don't have את all, ויהי אחרי המגפה, את all. These three
At
words,
all. Wow.
no. In Tanakh Koren, chapter 26. רגע, am I mistaken?
Or maybe it's at the end of
Ah,
chapter.
no, my mistake. No, I have it. No, it is exactly like I have in this, in the screen, on the screen. ויהי אחרי המגפה starts chapter 26.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Well, it does make sense after this plague
נכון.
to find out how many we have left. So it could make
In
sense.
all the versions,
עמנואל, אני תכף אתן לך זה, רק שפשוט עדינה טרם סיימה להגיד מה שהיא רוצה, בסדר? אז תכף אתה תדבר. כן, עדינה?
I was just saying it could make sense in either place. It could make sense, after the plague was over, that something happened, but they don't tell us what it was. But it also makes sense that after the plague was over, we should count ourselves again to find out how many we have left.
Okay, so keep
it makes
this
sense
comment.
either way.
Yes. So keep this comment in mind. You say that actually the plague was the reason for the census that we have here. And it can be,
Yeah.
I mean, it can be, it can be logic. Keep this in mind because we will talk about it. It's an interesting chapter. Like maybe I say it, I'm saying it on about almost every chapter because after studying one chapter you find out things that are interesting. Anyway, the census here is interesting, and okay, and that's all for now. Any other did you take a look on what John sent us? John, I went. You did a thorough job about the Briti Shalom. Yeah, the meaning of the term. So what is your conclusion about this Briti Shalom? If you have one conclusion.
Well, I don't have a conclusion other than Hazal and all the commentators since then have given us, by their variety, permission to come to our own conclusion. They're all over the map, so I think whatever midrash we pick, we have justification.
And okay, but it's interesting that the prize that God gave Pinchas for his act was a peace, a covenant of peace. It's like a bit contradictory, but British laws is something, a beautiful expression, I think. Just a British Shalom. These are two words with beautiful meanings and connotations, and it was the prize for a terrible acting of Pinchas.
And the Milgram, which I only mention, is really worth reading, but it's very detailed and it's several pages.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I believe you. I can recommend the books of Milgrom. Jacob Milgrom is a very interesting scholar, a Bible scholar, and I'm using him a lot.
Can I say something? Or
of course.
About that, I think Brit Shalom means Pinchas. The act of Pinchas provide the war between people, and what he did a small punishment, and he deserved peace. אני אגיד בעברית, ההתערבות של פנחס מנעה מלחמת אחים. הוא סיפק את שניהם, הוא העניש את זה, הלך לזה, ואז אין מלחמה, וזה ברית שלום. הוא קיבל איזה פרס כזה, מין ברית שלום.
נכון. Although the act seemed to us very ugly and very violent.
הם הבינו? כלומר,
and
אני
we
הסברתי
also-
לכם?
He also prevent the מלחמת אחים, the
כן.
war between the people, but and also we talked about it. This was his job, actually. If you think about I think we talked about that the job of the Levites was to save, to keep to guard all the sanctuary of the Mishkan, and he did his job. If it is moral or not, we can talk about, but רגע, עמנואל רצה קודם לדבר, ואחר כך שירה.
Also Chazal said, הבועל ארמית קנאים פוגעים פה. So every time when this is a incursion, so they have not to go to the judge, they are allowed to take a sword and to kill the other man.
Yeah, this is by this חז"ל, by the sages. שירה, מה רצית לומר? What did you want to say? You want to? No? Okay. So I have another comment. Actually, Yossi said it after the lesson last time. It's something that you might want to think about it. To compare the sin of the children of Israel in the calf sin, okay, the Chet HaEgel, to the one which is described in chapter 25. Okay, what we all remember is the sin, the calf sin, right? It is a very well-known story. We all remember it very well, and we don't really remember the sin in chapter 26, in Numbers 26. Right? What was the sin of the children of Israel? It's a bit vague, right? They went with the other women. You see, you don't remember.
Okay.
And actually, well, they did avodah zarah, pure avodah zarah, okay, with the other women with the other people around. You remember they dwelled near Moab, and they had connections, and so
Was it also about, like having sex in the sanctuary or something like that, or near the sanctuary, or
yes,
or something like that? That was.
Yeah. I'm just saying that we don't really remember this, but we remember what Pinchas did, right? This we remember, but so I don't know if the sin in Bamidbar in Numbers 25 was not much more severe than the sin of the calf.
Yes, because the first sin was the first way. Moses had to make order with the people to say, זה לא עושים. החטא הזה הוא היה בהתחלת הדרך. אז הוא חייב היה לתת עונש גדול לחנך אותם, לעצור חטאים נוספים, אני חושבת.
Okay, so yes,
המיקום שלו, his place in the story is very, location is very important.
Very dramatic. Yes, maybe this is the main point, but if you think all they did is they were very worried about Moshe not coming back, and they sinned, but I don't know, if you read the verses here, it seems to me much more severe than the verses there after the leaving Egypt. But it's of course an open question. Ken, John.
Yeah, it seems to me, though, the reason this sin might be less memorable is that it's not all on us. the Midianites here were deliberately trying to lead Israel astray. The golden calf is entirely within the Israelite community, that sin. It came up from Israel and affected Israel. There's nobody else to blame.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I also think like Rivka that it is the location of, you just left Egypt with so many, you know, and dramatic nisim that God did, and all and you see. But anyway, it's interesting, an interesting point. Okay, so here we have a census, and you remember when did where did we have the first census in Bamidbar in Numbers? Chapter 1 and 2. Okay, chapters 1 and 2. We would go back to these at least a few verses in these chapters, because it's interesting to compare not only the numbers. Okay, so let's start to read. Adina, can you read 1, 2, 4?
And it came to pass after the plague that the Lord spoke unto Moses and unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saying, take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and upward by their fathers' houses, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. And Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, take the sum of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel that came forth out of the land of Egypt.
Thank you. So we are familiar with this, מבין 20 שנה ומעלה. Yes, this is the age of that he can fight in this age. So this is the age that that they count, and of course only men. Okay. Here in number 2, כל יוצא צבא בישראל, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel. These are the countable people. Okay, now I would like you to notice while we how many families are in each tribe, because we have the list of the names, and we have the total numbers of each tribe, like in the previous census. But here we also have how many families. Okay, so just notice it. Adina, can you, in order that you will say, you will read also the hard parts, not only. So please read 5 to 11.
Okay.
I divided it to small portions.
Okay. Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, the sons of Reuben, which easier to say Reuben, of Hanoch, the family of the Hanochites. This is easier to say. Of Palu, the family of the Paluites. Of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites. Of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. Sorry. These are the families of the Reubenites, and they that were numbered of them were 43,730. And the sons of Palu, Eliab, and the sons of Eliab, Nemuel and Datan and Aviram. These are that Datan and Aviram, the elect of the congregation, who strove against Moses and against Aaron and the company of Korach when they strove against the Lord. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up together with Korach when that company died. What time the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. Notwithstanding, the sons of Korach died not.
Thank you. So as we talked previously, Korach himself, what do you he died, but his sons didn't die, right? This is what you understand here?
Yes.
Yes, and he died with other 250 of Datan and Aviram, and yes. Okay. So how many families Reuven has?
No, it's,
קונטם, אפשר לספור אותם.
No, you're right. All right. Four families.
Four
חנוך.
families. Okay, four
Yeah.
families. Okay. Just
That's,
keep this in mind. Okay, Judy, would you like to continue 12 to 18?
I'm sorry, 12 to 18?
Yes.
Okay. Descendants of Simeon by their clans, of Nemuel, the clan of the Nemulites, of Jamin, the clan of the Jaminites, of Jachin, the clan of the Jachinites, of Zerah, the clan of the Zerahites, of Saul, the clan of the Saulites. Those are the clans of the Simeonites, 22,200. Descendants of God by their clans, of Zephon, the clan of the Zephonites, of Haggai, the clan of the Haggites, of Shuni, the clan of the Shunites, of Ozni, the clan of the Oznites, of Eri, the clan of the Erites, of Arod, the clan of the Arodites, of Areli, the clan of the Arelites. Those are the clans of God's descendants, persons enrolled, 40,500.
Thank you. Okay, so now let's compare to Numbers chapter 1 verses 20-25. I didn't bring it because you can just look at in your books. We will not just read on your own these verses and see if you see any differences between this and what we read and these verses. במדבר פרק 1, פסוקים 20-25.
Can you please go down a little?
אתה רוצה, you want to see this?
כן.
מה?
זה לראות.
אני לא מראה את זה פה. אתם
הבנתי.
רוצים שאני אראה את זה, זה פשוט לרוץ אחורה.
They're giving us different names.
Different names? הנה, אני אשים את זה בסדר. Different names, what do you mean?
Oh, never mind. This is saying who's going to assist in the census. Okay.
שנייה, במדבר 1. Okay, I'll put it here. הנה.
Okay. We're going to 40. Oh, the numbers.
The numbers are a bit different. Let's put aside for a minute the numbers. When we talked about, the numbers are a little bit different, and some tribes are more different. But
They're not giving us the names of the clans.
Again, please, Ma?
Well, here it says the children of Reuven,
Yes.
and they're giving us a number, but they're not telling us by family.
Exactly. This is what I wanted you to see, that here in the first census, we don't have any families. We only have the tribe and the numbers of the men, and that's all. We don't know how many families they have, and we don't know their names also. You see?
And not the summary of the persons in the family, in the tribe.
Okay. Yes, we don't
לא
know
אומרים לנו
any-
כמה אנשים יש בשבט.
This is
נכון.
before the Bnot Tzlofchad,
Yes, this is in
Sorry.
the next chapter. We have the Bnot Tzlofchad, so let's wait a little bit with this. It's 27 Bnot Tzlofchad. Okay, so בסדר? So this is a very important difference between the two censuses. I mean, apart from the numbers. So I'm going back to our.
Aren't there 40 years between these censuses?
Something like that.
So
Something like
all of these immediate descendants would now be tribal leaders because they've grown to adulthood. So
נכון.
they wouldn't be mentioned the first time because they were children.
Okay, this is one possibility. Okay, but you could say that in other well, some kind of a census we have in the beginning of the book of Exodus. Okay, and then you have Jacob and all his sons. So you can say, well, these are the, the most important sons, and these are the names of the tribes to follow and all that. But still, there is another, and you are right that their fathers should not exist anymore, because this was also the punishment. The fathers of these people here in 26. Because they were punished. This was the punishment of Dora Midbar, right? They were killed. They died through the journey in order not to go into the promised land. But anyway, what I want to show you that here we have the names of the families and the numbers of the families. Okay. Let's continue reading. Yeah. Okay. John, can you read 19 to 27?
Just a second, I have to make sure that my Omer counter doesn't go off again.
Okay.
19 to 27.
Born to Judah, Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. Descendants of Judah by their clans, of Shelach, the clan of the Shelonites, of Perez, the clan of the Perizzites, of Zerah, the clan of the Zerahites, descendants of Perez, of Hezron, the clan of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the clan of the Hamulites. Those are the clans of Judah, persons enrolled 76,500. Descendants of Issachar by their clans, of Tola, the clan of the Tolaites, of Puva, the clan of the Punites, of Yashub, the clan of the Yashubites, of Shimron, the clan of the Shimronites. Those are the clans of Issachar, persons enrolled 64,300. Descendants of Zebulun by their clans, of Sered, the clan of the Seredites, of Elon, the clan of the Elonites, of Jalil, the clan of the Jalilites. Those are the clans of the Zebulunites, persons enrolled 60,500. The sons of Joseph were 27.
No, that's next one. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it was a bit, but look here in 19, you have the names according to what you said before. In 19, you have the names of Judah that were, I mean, the names are not irrelevant here, but still they are mentioned here.
Er Onan was the husbands of Tamar.
נכון.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
Judah
But they
takes Tamar.
died before, and yeah, we know the
Peretz and
dynasty of-
Shelah was
and-
the sons of Tamar with Judah. And Tamar didn't mention here.
Tamar is not mentioned because other
Because of the army.
daughters of Tzlofchad, no woman is mentioned. And Shelah is mentioned because, well, he was not given to Tamar, as we know, right? We know,
He, wa-
right?
he was not
Because-
mentioned, I think, because she didn't go to the army. הם לא סופרים אותם, מה שסופרים פה זה אנשים שהולכים לצבא.
מה, the women? Well, they
The
don't
women
count.
wasn't.
לא חשוב למה. They don't count the women, many
לא
reasons,
קמתי.
all the reasons, but the men that go to the army, yes, this is, that's all. Okay, so how many families, by the way, it's interesting that in your translations, John, you have the word clan. And my translation, I have family. What do you have? Clan is sound to me right than family. Family is some kind of like a small.
Only two boys.
איזה תרגום יש לך?
Family.
Yeah,
Family.
mine says clan.
Clan? Because
Yeah.
in Hebrew
It
it's
makes sense.
משפחותם.
Clan is a really extended family.
נכון, נכון. Well, in Hebrew it's משפחות, משפחה, family. Okay, this is the immediate translation. Anyway, so how many families or clans does Yehuda have?
Two.
Three.
Two families. Family of Er ואונן.
Three.
No, but Er Onan died.
Yeah, they don't have that.
כן.
It's
It's
three.
in 20, I already
And
counted
it's saying,
five families, okay? It's Shelani,
הנה
Parzi,
בני יהודה, כן.
Tarchi, and then the sons of Parzi, the descendants of the family of Parzi. Ma? John, did you say something?
I was just counting the 5.
Okay. Yes, and Issachar, they have 4 families, and Zvulun, 3 families, okay? Okay, so Gershon, can you continue 28 to oh, you got to 37.
The sons of Joseph were Manasseh and Ephraim by their clans. Descendants of Manasseh of Machir, the clan of the Machirites. Machir begot Gilead, of Gilead, the clan of the Gileadites. These were the descendants of Gilead. Ezer, the clan of the Ezerites. Of Helek, the clan of the Helekites. Of Asriel, the clan of the Asrielites. Of Shechem, the clan of the Shechemites. Of Shmida, the clan of the Shmidaites. Of Hefer, the clan of the Heferites. Now Zelophehad, son of Hefer, had no sons, only daughters. So now we get the daughters. Okay. The names of Zelophehad's daughters were Machlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. Those are the clans of Manasseh, persons enrolled 52,700. These are the descendants of Ephraim by their clans. Of Shuthelah, the clan of the Shuthelahites. Of Becher, the clan of the Becherites. Of Tahan, the clan of the Tahanites. These are the descendants of Shuthelah, of Aaron, the clan of the Aaronites. Those are the clan of Ephraim's descendants, persons enrolled 32,500. Those are the descendants of Joseph by their clans.
Thank you.
And you saved that for me, didn't you, Ora?
Gershom, you're looking for the most difficult names to pronounce.
Yeah, exactly. You got
She did that on purpose, I'm
Because-
sure.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, because you said in the beginning, so
Right, because I didn't want to read any of this.
yeah. Let's continue. Maybe we'll read now in Hebrew.
Actually,
Rivka,
can I throw
can-
back a question sort of from the beginning?
yes.
Because maybe I missed something, and I know we've read things about census before, But the part about being of 20 years old and older, I know you said because then they could fight, but
According to the Bible, this is the age of the fighting, of going to the army, of participating in war. This is according to the Bible. You can find it all over the Bible. מבין 20 שנה ומעלה.
Any particular thought on why 20? I mean, obviously we use 18 now. And it would seem that in that era where people didn't live so long,
Yeah.
maybe
Well,
even
you know
earlier
what?
would have been.
In one hand, on one hand, they didn't live so long because this was the ancient times, right? On the other hand, you have Moses that lived 120, and you have Abraham that lived 100, I think 80, and Yaakov 130 something. And I never, I mean, it's always a question, is 1 year is like how we count now? Because I think yes, because you know, you have the seasons, you have the agricultures, you have the nature signs that help you to count the time. So I don't know to answer about this 20 issue, but really,
it was what it was. Okay.
yeah.
Kacha.
In that time, there was not developed enough, I think.
There was not developed what?
enough. הם עוד לא היו מפותחים ללכת בגיל 18 לצבא. צוחקת, אבל אפשר.
היו מאוד מפותחים.
עוד אפשרות.
כן.
אבל כנראה, maybe they are going to the military less than 20 because it's right when you 20 after you was in the military.
You mean 20 is going to the war.
After the military.
18 is the טירונות and all the practices. This is what you mean?
לא, אני אומר, כתוב מבין 20 שנה כל יוצאי צבא. הם כבר היו יוצאי צבא אחרי 20 שנה.
אז זהו. I'm not sure about it, because normally מבין 20 שנה, it means יוצא צבא and מבין 20 שנה, it means approximately the same, but it's something that there was to check. I don't think that they had, you know, that they had like now we have the army, and then you will not send to the army all the really young soldiers. You will send soldiers that are already have been practiced, but I don't know.
Maybe it also gives them time to father children before they go.
Right. That's kind of what I was just going to say. I seem to remember something about that you don't take a young man to go, you don't send him to war, like if he just got married in the first year that he got married.
First year,
or there were some other things, like if you just planted a tree or something, I don't know, but like to give him a chance to establish a life first.
Yes.
So, and possibly to, you know, have children first, and then send him off to war so that he has the descendants or something like that. But I would seem to remember something about not sending a young man off to war if he just got married.
Yes, this is you are right. It's 1 year that you have to לשמח את אשתך או משהו כזה. You have to make your new wife happy. This is approximately the verse. John, you
in terms of Gershon's comments on life expectancy, it behooves us to remember that the vast difference in life expectancy between then and now is all taken up with infant mortality. Our gains other than an infant mortality are small. So a 20-year-old then would be very much like a 20-year-old now in terms of life trajectory.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I will check this verse of 1 year and not to go to the army. And okay. רבקה, את רוצה לקרוא 38, יש לנו פה, נגיד, רבקה, עמנואל ושירה. תרצו לקרוא בעברית קצת את השמות השוברי שיניים האלה?
כן, אני מוכנה, מאיזה פסוק?
רגע, אז 38 עד 43.
אני לא קוראת.
את לא רוצה לקרוא? בסדר, אין בעיה.
אפשר? כן?
כן, כן.
בני בנימין למשפחותם, לבלה משפחת הבלעי, לאשבול משפחת האשבולי, לאחירם משפחת החרמי, לשפופים משפחת השופני, לחופים משפחת החופני, ויהי בני בלה ארד ונעמן משפחת הארדי, לנעמן משפחת הנעמי. אלה בני בנימין למשפחותם, ופקודיהם 45,600. משפחות בנימין, 7 משפחות.
כן, זה תוספת.
כן. אלה בני דן למשפחותם, לשוחם, משפחת השוחמי, אלה משפחות דן למשפחותם. כל משפחת השוחמי, לפקודיהם 64,400.
יופי, תודה. זהו. רגע, סליחה. עמנואל, שלום אורית. שלום. איפה, עמנואל, אתה פה? אתה רוצה לקרוא? אתה קורא אבל עם טעמים.
איזה יופי.
לא, אני צוחקת, עמנואל. Only think that we struggle with the names in reading. Think about who reads this in the synagogue as chanting.
That makes it much easier.
Really?
Tamim makes it much easier to pronounce things. From my experience.
When you have the ta'amim, yes?
I'm not a fluent Hebrew speaker, as everybody knows, but it's much easier for me to pronounce the Hebrew by looking at the tropes.
Okay, maybe
But
because
also
you are
in
used to it.
It's easier to sing something than to say something.
Yeah, maybe.
In any language. I can sing in lots of languages that I can't speak. So
Okay.
music makes it easier.
Well, yeah, maybe after you practice the tropes again and again and again, it's not the names. עמנואל, אתה תרצה לקרוא? או שאני... אוקיי, אז אורית, would you like to read 44 to 50?
רוצים לקרוא לבחורה חולה? שלמען מישהו.
רגע, עמנואל, טוב, אני עושה לך מיוט, ואורית, בבקשה תעשי unmute.
Okay, the sons of Asher, after their families, of Imnah, the family of the Imnites, of Ishvi, the family of the Ishvites, of Beriah, the family of the Berites, of the sons of Beriah, of Heber, the family of the Heberites, of Malchiel, the family of the Malchielites. It's hard to say, yeah. You have to move it up.
כן, כן, תמשיכי, בבקשה. סליחה.
And the name of the daughter of Asher was Serah. These are the families of the sons of Asher, according to those that were numbered of them, 53,400. The sons of Naphtali, after their families, of Jazil, the family of the Jazilites, of Guni. You say Juni?
Guni.
Which one?
Never mind. Guni.
Guni, the family of the Gunites, of Jezer, the family of the Jezerites, of Shilem, the family of the Shilemites. These are the families of Naphtali according to their families, and they that were numbered of them were 40 and 5,400. Is
Yofi,
that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. Okay, so now remember this figure? So it's the same figure that we already saw, but I put here the numbers of the families that in every tribe, okay? You see in Reuven 4, Simon 6, and etc. Okay? Now, see that, I mean, first of all, if we don't know the numbers of the family, we only can talk about the size of the tribe, right? Like Yehuda is the biggest, and Shimon after the plague is I'm not sure it's the plague, but after the second census is the orange one. So Shimon was the smallest here, etc. But if you see, and now, do you see anything interesting or I don't know, something that pops up when you?
Oh yes, Dan has one family, and he has 62,000.
Look at the tribe of Dan, one family, and the size is almost big like Yehuda,
Yeah.
or like Issachar. Okay, Yehuda and Issachar have 5 and 4 families, and then yes, so this is one thing quite I don't know.
I say, I think in almost all the Bible, Judah is the biggest, the famous, the big family.
Strongest, okay.
Every famous thing about the tribes, the one of them is Judah. And the reason of my view is because Judah, the tribe of Judah, told us the stories.
Ah. Yes.
Also, Shimon.
As Churchill said, the history is this happened because I'm writing the history. This was because I'm writing the history. Can Mayosi?
Shimon lost a lot of people between the
two census. Yes. This is what we talked a little bit about it, that we had a plague that might take the plague in chapter 25. The people that were killed were, I think, 24,000, something like that, and we had other plagues before that. So yes. So we can assume that Shimon was the tribe that was hit the most in the plagues. Anyway, so
Manasseh also loses a lot.
Me?
Manasseh also loses a lot there.
Oh, Menashe, it's the opposite. The other way, it's the opposite, Adina. Menashe,
That's right, you're right. Manasseh gains a lot.
yeah, Menashe gains a lot.
But
And here we have the percentage of the difference. Okay, the Shimon was reduced a lot, and Menashe gained a lot. Yes. Ken?
I was thinking before, if you think in terms of Yosef,
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of Manasseh and Ephraim separately, Yosef's descendants are actually the most.
Nahon.
I added it up because Yehuda comes to 76,500, but Manasseh and Ephraim together are 85,200.
Yes.
I think in terms of Yosef, that's the biggest one, except it's two.
Yes, very nice. It's the
Ephraim.
the beloved son of Jacob got a.
But Ephraim was also beloved. the son of Joseph who was beloved, and they are not big.
No, but together, Joseph
Right.
is like is more than Yehuda. The Joseph, as Joseph, we say Joseph, but we mean
Ephraim and
sons.
Manasseh was more than Judah.
again
If we
together.
if
And
we
remember, it's
summer them.
and actually, if you remember in maybe I have it in well, I didn't. Maybe we'll read it. Adina, can you, because you brought it up, can you read these two verses
Yeah, and Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand towards
from
his
Genesis?
left
Okay.
hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto him. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn.
Yes, you remember this. Well, I brought it here only to show maybe something about the size of Ephraim and Manasseh, but actually what the right verse to bring, according to what as respond to your comment, Adina, is Reuven v'Shimon יהיו לי Ephraim and Manasseh, something like that. Jacob considered the sons of Yosef as his sons.
Yeah.
And this is why they got land, and not. I mean, Ephraim and Manasseh, all the others are their uncles actually, and not their brothers. Okay.
There's something interesting that Manasseh divided to twice, to one, the half of Manasseh
And
stay
in the east side of Jordan and the עבר הירדן המזרחי,
and now the David do it's never right written.
כן. Well, according to what I know about the tribe of Manasseh, they had many flocks, עדרים. עדרים זה flocks, נכון?
Yes.
עדרים. So they
just the half of the shevet.
I
don't know. They had to have a very wide area for their flocks. But I would like to. It's already 8:30, and I would like to get on. And what I want you to think now. I mean, we will continue reading, but while we're reading, I want you to think what were the purposes of the two censuses, okay? In chapters 1 and 2, compared to Numbers 26, okay? Now, so let's read. And here I brought the verses of number 2. John, can you read this? 32 to 34.
These are they that were numbered of the children of Israel by their fathers' houses. All that were numbered of the camps according to their hosts were 600,000 and 3,550. But the Levites were not numbered among the children of Israel as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus did the children of Israel according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so they pitched by their standards, and so they set forward, each one according to its families and according to its father's houses.
Okay. So what was the purpose of, according to these verses, the purpose of the census in Numbers 1 and 2? Look at, especially now.
Set up the camp, maybe, to how they set the camp up?
Yeah, to have the settling of the camp, right? This is what you said.
Yes, yeah.
Can yes. This is one. It's like it's the first part of the reason, and the other, in order to have the setting of the camps, this is the way that they will journey. This is the way that they will walk. If you want, you know what, I will, let's go back here. Just a minute, to this illustration of the, here.
Yeah.
This is to get the setting, and you remember we talked about it, Reuven and Shimon, that they were near each other, and Yehuda was in the front, at the front, and we talked a lot about it, and all around the Mishkan. And yes, so the census there was in order to set the arrangement of the tribes in the journey. Okay, so this was this change. Now let's go back to our chapter. And let's continue. Okay, Judy, can you read 51 to 54?
Sure. These are they that were numbered of the children of Israel, 600,001,730. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, unto these the land shall be divided for an inheritance according to the number of names. To the more thou shalt give, the more, and to the more thou shalt give, the more inheritance, and to the fewer thou shalt give, the less inheritance. To each one according to those that were numbered of it shall its inheritance be given.
Thank you. So what is, according to these verses, what do you think is the reason for the second census?
To see how much land they'll each get.
Rega, Judy, what is?
I was just going to see how much land they will each inherit.
Exactly.
Each family.
Exactly. And Adina?
I said the same thing that Judy said, yeah.
Yes, yes. So the division of the promised land, they are about to enter, they are here in Arvot Moab, in the plains of Moab, and they are about to enter the promised land, and this is the time to divide the land. And you know, if you think about it, only in this, I mean, how did they know how to divide? I'm not saying about, I mean, how did they know the land? They didn't have maps, they didn't have satellites, pictures, they didn't have, it's amazing. But okay, this is the one thing.
God shows them.
God show, oh, I think. Oh, nachon. How could I forget? Now, according to these verses, how did they did the distribution?
אני לא הבנתי. But
According to these verses, look at number 54. How was the distribution done?
According to the
10, of course. That's why Menashe got a large.
Okay, let's leave Menashe Rega aside. Adina, what did you say? According
to the size of the tribe, population, according to the population.
Is it logic? Yes, very logic. לרב תרבה נחלתו, ולמלך תמעיט נחלתו, right? So, Ken, John?
It's a very different cultural tradition if you think of Western Europe, which divides lands either by primogeniture, that is, the first gets everything, or per stirpes, which means each child gets the same amount. And no matter how many children that child may have.
So according to you have to add up all the numbers for all the tribes, well, and then you divide.
This is much more egalitarian than European inheritance traditions.
Yes.
And much more multi-generational.
Yes.
No, I think that the visit was according the number of families.
According to number of families, not the number, not the total number, 600 and 6,000. Okay, but it's very clear and very logical. It really makes sense. לרב תרבה נחלתו, the tribe, the biggest tribe, a bigger land, and vice versa. Okay, right?
Of course, the one thing that's missing from, the thing
Yes.
that's missing from it is you have to have some way of knowing how much land is there to give out
Yes, well, this is what we
before you
talked about that
encounter
we-
other hostile forces.
right. So, Gershom, can you continue these two verses? please?
כן, אני יכולה משהו להגיד
כן,
שעכשיו
כן,
שמתי לב?
כן, just a minute.
את, איך אומרים, the compose of those parts is before they gave us the numbers of the tribes for us to understand what is said later, that להרבה תרבה ולמעט תמעיט. Now we know who is the big tribe, who will give
Yes.
a large place, and who are the smaller. זה מאוד יפה,
You
העריכה
are
הזאת.
right. You are absolutely right.
שמו את זה בדיוק פה.
Exactly. And
מאוד
you
יפה.
know what, Gershom, just a minute, Rivka, you are absolutely right. And not only, it comes, like Rivka said, it comes right after the census, and it says, I forgot to say it. Look at number 51. These are they that were numbered. Ele pakudei bnei Israel, and now look at number 53. And to these the land shall be divided. לאלה תחלק הארץ.
יעבדו
It
אליי,
means,
הכל בסדר?
רגע, רבקה, אני סלחתי.
טוב מותק, אז אחר כך, תודה. טוב.
And to these, לאלה תחלק הארץ. So the census and these verses are very much connected together. It's not, it's really, we can understand that the reason for the census and the reason for, I mean, this specific census with all the names of the families is this, the division of the country. So this is very clear. Now,
But when it says according to the number of names, are you saying names of families or names of individuals?
Oh, we don't know.
The total
names.
of person. The
Okay.
total of person. We
No,
have
I mean, במספר שמות we can understand, or number, we can understand it according to the names that were listed now, okay, before. But let's go, I mean, now that everything is clear and nice and settled. Gershom, can you read 55 and 56?
Sure. Notwithstanding, the land shall be divided by lot. According to the names of the tribes of their fathers, they shall inherit. According to the lot shall their inheritance be divided between the more and the fewer.
Okay.
Now,
so
am I understanding the translation right? By lot, they mean by random choice?
Yes.
But that means that families might not be together, or tribes might not be together.
No, I think they keep the tribe together and the family of each tribe, but it's not, it's, what do you think about what we read in so nice and makes sense in 54 and what we are reading now in 55 and 56?
It's very interesting.
Yes. It's very interesting. You're very gentle.
It picks out from
No,
the.
not, yeah, you are very gentle not to say it's a contradictory.
But is it contradictory? I mean, they're all getting a certain acreage by their numbers, but it's by a lot that you might get a lot of acreage in the Negev that isn't much good to you.
Wow.
You might get a lot of acreage in the Galil, which would be very good to you.
Yes. Okay. So John saw that we have only 7 minutes and sum up all the parshanuyot, all the commentaries about this in, yes, you are right. I mean, the 54 regards the size of the land of each family, but 55 and 56 regards the location. Yes, but you know what, John, there are so many. First of all, I did about this a big seminar a few years ago, and there are so many commentaries about this. What it is it by size? Is it by lot? Is it? So Rashi says, all you can read. Well, we have a few more minutes. Maybe John, can you read this? The English might be not very good because it's Google Translate, and then I didn't have time to.
Yeah.
So
Can you increase the size a little? My
Oh,
eyes
yes,
are
yes, yes,
not what they once were.
And just I will say that what you said actually is now is the acceptable solution for this contradictory, and Abarbanel suggested it. Okay, let's read it.
This matter was discussed at length by medieval commentators. According to Rashi, God made sure that the results of Lot corresponded to the size of the tribes. That is, initially the land was divided into estates that were not equal in size, and then were assigned to their owners according to a lot, when God saw to it that each tribe received the estate that suited its needs in terms of size. The proposal that Rashi offers corresponds to the order of things written in the verse. There were two divisions, the first according to size, the following it a division according to lot.
Yes, yes. Now, so Rashi says God did it all.
Mhm.
And Rashi, remember, he's basing his commentaries upon Chazal. God did it all. But if God did it all, so why do we have a census? Why do we have to have a census? Okay, so people, I mean, it wasn't so acceptable, even though it is Rashi. And the Ramban says, Judy, Gershom, can you read this? And again, the English not very.
Okay.
The Rambam. This is
The Ramban also claims that there were two divisions, but different ones. First division in which the land was divided into 12 parts of equal size, interesting, a part for each tribe, except the tribe of Levi, which does not receive an estate. This is different from Rashi, who proposed divisions of different sizes as a first division. And later, a second division in which each tribe divided its territories among its families according to the size of the family. That is, according to the Ramban, the division according to fate is the first division, and it is the same allocation of territory to each tribe. In fact, since in this method the estates are equal in size, the role of fate in the Ramban is to decide where each tribe's estate will be. The second division, according to the Ramban method, is division within the tribe into different sizes according to the needs of each family.
A bit complicated, but the thing is that to divide to equal parts doesn't make sense.
No.
And also, not only because we think it doesn't make sense, it is not. It is written, לרב תרבה נחלתו ולמעט תמעיט נחלתו. It is written so clear that we cannot, I mean, this is not acceptable. So, and let's finish with this, with Abarbanel, and רגע. אז אורית, את יכולה לקרוא את הקטע הזה?
בסוף יש לי איזה תהייה, אם תרשי לי, אם יהיה מספיק שנייה.
בהחלט, בהחלט, רק נקרא את זה וזהו. אברבנאל. מה, את לא רוצה לקרוא? Okay, as John, can you, because you said actually the solution, so.
Abravanel opposed the proposals of Rashi and Ramban and offered as an alternative the following interpretation. There were two divisions, one, a first allocation intended to determine the location of tribal estates throughout the country, and which was determined by fate, whereas the size of the area assigned to each tribe in the regions that arose by fate was determined objectively according to the size of the tribe. The first division that determined the location of the tribes was drawn up by fate in order to prevent internal struggles among the people, lest one or another tribe claim that its territory is less fertile or less conquerable than its neighbors, whereas the second division, according to size, provided an answer to the needs of each tribe.
Yes, thank you. So we have, I think, a good, and this is also, by the way, from Milgrom. This is what Jacob Milgrom is from a book of him. I'm not sure.
May I read?
רגע, עמנואל, רצית לומר משהו?
May I read next?
כן, כן, בשמחה. רק העניין שדי סיימנו, אבל שנייה אחת, אני רוצה לראות. Well, okay, so just a moment. Can you read this? I brought here a verse from Numbers 33 and a verse from Numbers 34 that talk also about the fate. So, אתה רוצה לקרוא בעברית אולי? זה דווקא משפט יפה בשפה בעברית יפה.
והתנחלתם את הארץ בגורל למשפחותיכם, לרב תרבו את נחלתו, ולמעט תמעיט את נחלתו, אל אשר יצא לו שמה הגורל, לא יהיה, למטות אבותיכם תנחלו. And Moses commanded...
רגע, תמשיך בעברית, חבל, זאת אומרת, שיהיה לנו קצת עברית ב...
ויצב משה את בני ישראל לאמור, זאת הארץ אשר תתנחלו אותה בגורל, אשר ציווה אדוני לתת לתשעת המטות וחצי המטה.
תודה. זהו.
למה תשעה?
Okay, the 9.5, this is connected to what Yossi said in the previously, that 2.5 tribes remained in the east west bank of Jordan. Actually, we didn't finish the chapter, but we have to finish the lesson. So let's continue next. Next chapter is next lesson is next week, because afterwards we have Ma'agal Nashim and then Shavuot, and then I have something. It's so let's do next week, okay? 11 May. I will, of course, send you a reminder. So
May I give you a quick answer to your question? About if God is determining all the results, why do we need a census?
Yes.
But looking at the history of the Jewish people before this, you need a census to be able to prove to them that it made sense what the outcome was.
Okay. Okay.
I have a question for only thinking. We have no time. Why Ephraim and Menashe was divided? What is the logic and the why they was divided? They are.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
It is written in the Bible. כראובן או שמעון יהיו לי. Jacob, their grandfather adopted them as his sons. So why to
למה? גם יוסף כולם מתו, כלומר בהמשך ראשי השבטים מתו כמו יוסף. למה פה חילקו אותם? למה לא השאירו? למה חילקו אותם?
לא, רגע.
בברכה הוא לא חילק, הוא בירך את שניהם. אבל למה
I want to find this verse because I know that...
מאוד מעניין אותי למה תמיד...
Maybe I should try to answer.
Not only that, they put them very far one from the other, like not the same tribe.
Jacob,
this is a lot. Well, the location, as now we know, the location is determined by a lot, by the lot, by lot. I mean.
כן, להרבה. We have perhaps there are many large places Why so far one from the other? Like,
I-
כאילו הם
I-
לא אחים. They are not from the same.
So also Jacob put them especially from the other because he put his hands special on Ephraim and Menashe. Unless he crossed his hands, this is a habit. It was in the east. We found in the archaeological exhibitions that also in Iraq, Mari and Nuzi, this was the habit. So sometimes to choose a younger more than the eldest son.
Okay, now I found the verse that talk that of Jacob in Genesis 48, number 5. I have it in Hebrew. ואתה שני בניך הנולדים לך בארץ מצרים, עד בואי אליך מצרימה, לי הם אפרים ומנשה, כי ראובן ושמעון יהיו לי. So they are considered totally as one of the tribes, as two of the tribes.
Yeah.
And I
הוסיפו
read
עוד שבט.
somewhere that
No.
because of all the troubles that the brothers of Yosef did to him, this is the punishment that Yosef actually get
יכול להיות, את יודעת, יש
two part of land, not one.
יכול להיות, אורה, שהמספר 11 הוא לא מספר נכון, מקובל, אמונות וכאלה. Perhaps the number 12 was much better. הוא חוזר. The 12, the number 12 was much better than 11. That's why they...
This is why you think this is...
אפילו בזמנו של ג'קוב זה היה.
But this idea, we didn't, I don't know if we found such idea like you, Rivka, what's your name?
Yes, Rivka.
Rivka, what you are saying, excuse me, I don't know in all the literature, that 11 is not good and 12 is good.
But okay,
חשוב, מחשבה.
think about the verse that I just read. It is very plain and clear in the text. When it is clear in the text, I don't know.
מעניין, למה יעקב ככה קבע? אוקיי.
But it's very interesting, the number.
Because he loved Joseph. This is
אז הוא יכול להשאיר לג'וזף ו11 שבטים, מה קרה? אז זה ממש מדויק.
No, because Levi doesn't get...
כן, בסדר, אבל בחשבון הזה הכללי, לא לחלק לשניים, להשאיר אותו, ויש לנו 11 שבטים, לא 12. זה הגיוני? תראי, זה המטרה של החפירות האלה, לתת לראש...
חז"ל, זה ממש חז"ל. לא חז"ל, without that.
לא, שום דבר, מחשבה. לשמר את הקוגניציה, לשמר את הניוון
Okay.
When we are speaking about numbers, the number 3 is very much in the Bible, but in the Chazal in later literature, that does not don't find the number 3. If I make a mistake, maybe you should correct me. But only a last book is written, which I wrote, Makom LeRosh Hashanah, and also there we found the number 3 when I paid the synagogue what I had to pay them, and the third day after I paid the synagogue, then the Gabbai, blessed to God, died in the third day. This is interesting also this in the book, please.
Okay, so thank you, Emmanuel. And so you are saying about the number 3. I think we don't have any more time. So
מה, אני לא חושבת שהיו לא זוגות. כל המספרים בתנ"ך הם זוגות. עכשיו מה שאני זוכרת, לא יודעת, לא זוכרת מקודש.
רבקה ועמנואל, בואו נמשיך את הדיון בשבוע הבא.
בסדר.
שבת שלום.
שבת שלום. לכולם. תודה רבה.